Yeah.
You can start.
Thank you so much, sir. So today I'm representing the Madhya Pradesh Tourism Board for this Scotch Award. So before starting, I would like to a small brief about the Madhya Pradesh Tourism Board. It's the institution promoted by the Madhya Pradesh government tourism department. Madhya Pradesh Tourism Board is registered as a non-profit company in 2017 with the mandate to promote tourism in Madhya Pradesh. For that, Madhya Pradesh Tourism Board is preparing various policies for promotion of tourism and to increase the number of visitors in Madhya Pradesh. So, Honorable Chief Minister is the chairman of Madhya Pradesh Tourism Board. And our PS, who is heading this Madhya Pradesh Tourism Board as a managing director, under which we are working under his guidance. So recently, Madhya Pradesh Tourism Board has launched a responsible tourism mission in Madhya Pradesh. Under this responsible tourism mission, we are implementing various project for promotion of tourism in Madhya Pradesh. In that line, uh, so why responsible tourism is so during the COVID the scenario changed in tourism, and now the people are willing more feeling more responsible and wants to go in safe destinations and safe places to visit. So now they are looking for the safe places to visit, not the and not promoting the mass tourism. Keeping it in mind, various projects are being implemented under the responsible tourism. The purpose of responsible tourism is basically to increase the responsible tourism in Madhya Pradesh. So basically three pillars that we are working on under the responsible tourism. First is we are looking for the community development and their participation in the tourism. And we are looking the economic enhancement and development through tourism and as well as the environmental protection. So these are the three major pillars under which we are working. So while looking towards the concept that we have taken, we have adopted the Cape Town Declaration 2002, according to which we are working. And to cater this three pillars requirement under the responsible tourism mission, various projects are being implemented by the Madhya Pradesh Tourism Board in Madhya Pradesh. Recently, one of the project Safe Tourism Destination in for women in Madhya Pradesh, we have won the gold award in Scotch recently, a few months back. In that, under the umbrella, there are other various projects are being implemented to achieve our guidelines. So these are the projects that we have identified under the responsible tourism, like homestay development, rural tourism, safe tourism, responsible souvenir projects. So these all the projects are basically mandated to cater the objective of the our responsible tourism in Madhya Pradesh. Keeping it in mind, we have started the project Humsafar for that project which we have submitted for the Scotch Award under the innovation. Project Humsafar is basically we have thought when we are talking about the responsible tourism and under the responsible tourism, there was a declaration that there is the accessibility in tourism destination, accessibility for all in the tourism destinations. Keeping it in mind, we have started this project where we have thought we should make our tourism destination accessible for all, especially focus on the especially able persons so that they can also come and enjoy our tourist destinations. So objective was to sensitize and conduct the capacity building of both the tourists as well as our staffs who are working in these tourism destinations to make the visits of especially able person to this destination is peaceful and happily, to conduct the awareness program for the staff, to enhance the proportion of accessible government buildings and transportation system of accessibility. So keeping it these objectives, we have designed the strategy while designing this project, that we will implement this project in phase wise manner, and to start with a pilot project under which we have a few selected destinations. Then we have decided that we will cover the few destinations and hotels to start with, so that the basis on the result we can promote the private players to adopt this accessible tourism under the project Humsafar. And then gap identification. So these are the strategies that we have adopted under the projects. For implementation of the project, we have a four-step approach under this project that we have defined to make our tourist destinations accessible for especially able persons. So step one is selection, under which we have identify the places where we have to where those places which we want to make accessible for the tourist, where the footfall is and then we have identified the agencies who will do this work for us, basically implementing agencies. Then identification is basically second step we are adopting, under which we are identifying the gap of that exists for accessible these especially able person, so in the tourist destinations, and also they identify the orientation and capacity building need of the staff who are basically working and interfacing directly with the tourist in that destinations. Then third step we have defined is the preparation, where we are whatever the gap that we have identified, how to mitigate those gaps. To fulfill that gaps, there is a preparation of DPR if there is an infrastructural gap, or to conduct the training if there is a need of behavioral change with the staff who are working. And then the fourth and last step, they have whatever the gaps that we have identified, we are bridging the gap through development. So these four-step approach that we have adopted under this project. While under the implementation of this project in phase, as I told you, in the phase manner. So under the first step and selections, we have identified our implementing partner, the Arushi organization, who is doing this work for us, is the implementing partner who has been empaneled by the Madhya Pradesh Tourism Board through proper process. And that area to start with, we have identified 4 tourism destinations where we have chosen to implement this pilot project in phase 1. So those destinations are Mandu, Maheshwar, Omkareshwar, Magh, around 30 monuments and buildings, including the our hotels, which are developed by run by the Madhya Pradesh Tourism Corporation is identified. And stage 2 में identifications में we have conducted the accessibility audit of these monuments and places that we have identified with the support of our implementing partner, that is Arushi. We have identified the gaps, we have identified the requirement of the destinations, how we can make those destinations accessible for the especially able persons. We have developed the reports for all the 30 destinations to cater the requirement, or as well as now in phase 3, since as I told you, after identification of gap, so under the phase 3 we have conducted the trainings of the staffs who are giving the services at the tourist destinations, so that they could be oriented towards the how they have to service and how they have to behave with the specially able person whenever they are coming or to visit those places. So these trainings, orientation or behavioral change trainings, are being conducted in these destination in the pilot phases. Now on the third stages, when we have identified the gaps, basically infrastructure gaps which are required to be developed in these destinations. So we have now on the phase of making a detailed DPR project. So we are in step 4 to mitigate these gaps which we have identified with the support of accessibility audit. So on the second phase, now we are developing the DPR. So we have hired the services of architect who is basically again visiting these destinations, and now they are preparing a detailed project report to mitigate these gaps which we have identified. So on the fourth stage, now once we are getting this DPRs getting developed, we are going to mitigate these gaps, bridging these gaps by making those infrastructure requirement in these destinations. So this is how we have whole project is being designed and being implemented. So this is one of its kind that we are implementing this project in Madhya Pradesh. So this is another chain of project that we are implementing in the under the umbrella of responsible tourism. So as a whole, we are trying to get the cater the need of all kind of tourists who are coming in Madhya Pradesh, and we are make them feel safe and want them to make happy whenever they come and visit this Madhya Pradesh. So this is all about our project that we are implementing. We named this project Project Humsafar. Thank you. Sir, would like to say something?
Okay, it's good. Thank you very much.
So, sir, this is all about the our project that we are implementing. Till now, we have four places that we have identified and implemented, where we have identified the infrastructural gap, and we have also oriented and capacity building of the staff has been already done. Now we are developing the DPOs on the next phase, where the UNESCO has committed to support to fulfill our this infrastructural gap in these destinations. So,
Sir, I think a very good presentation. In fact, you have done excellent work in developing this project Humsafar. With this COVID is almost fading away. So, what prospects do you see tourism development in your state?
sir, now the number of tourists are increasing after this COVID. That the scenario that we have experienced, basically, there is another project, rural tourism project, that we are implementing, and under which we are developing the homestays in rural areas in the isolation, and we are being developed and run by the community itself. So our experience is just like now they are not we are the one who are not getting the booking in these places. So these all homestays are getting filled, and we have seen that lots of tourists are like to come and stay in the isolation, and they are enjoying the rural tourism, basically. So as I told you earlier, after COVID, now the people are not looking for the mass tourism, but they are looking for the experiential tourism, and they would like to visit the places like rural areas, where they don't have so much exposure with other persons. So like one of the project that Ladpura house that we have started under rural tourism is the one of the village in India which was nominated by the government of Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, under best tourism village for UNWTO award. So this was the achievement, and this is the response that the community that we are getting for these projects.
Very good, very good. Great work. Thank you.
Sir, as you have mentioned that project Humsafar DPR is being has been prepared, and you have to yet to start the work.
No, sir. As I told you that we are there are the four steps project that we have implementing. So under the first step, I told you to identification, and then identification of gaps. So on the first phase, we have conducted the training of the staffs who are interacting directly with the tourists
I
at
got
the
it.
yeah.
I
Sir,
got that. I
yeah.
got that.
So
That
sir, that
finally
is the
now.
Sir, that is the phase 2 that we are preparing the DPR. Sorry, that is the phase 2 that we are preparing. So under the phase 1, we have identified the infrastructural gap by conducting the accessibility audit of these places.
Okay. Okay.
So,
What is so innovative in your project so that you should be considered for the award?
Sir, this is the it's kind of first project that Madhya Pradesh Tourism Board is implementing, and who is looking for making their destination accessible for all, especially able persons, so that everyone may come and visit this destinations in Madhya Pradesh.
Okay.
So we are fulfilling the our mandate that declaration has been made under the responsible tourism.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.